Welcome back for day 11 of the Lost Files. Breaking the loop. If you haven't seen day 1 through 10, there's a playlist with every episode on my channel page. But don't fret, today we'll give you a good overview. So just finish this video first and then go check out the playlist. Today, I'm diving into the first tangible win where my 2026 hardship deviates from the 2025 disaster. Looking through these archives, it's hard to see where it all started to go off track because everything seems to be going smoothly after the storm. But breaking the loop is about the choice. It's the moment I decided to deviate and shift that was starting in my mindset. When shit hit the fan in 2025, my mindset was, I can handle this alone, paired with, I just gotta work through this struggle. But as you may have noticed, in your own life, change can happen in an instant, just like the first edit of this video suggested. Looking at these archives, I threw myself into work. I threw myself into learning new skills. I threw myself into helping others and everything besides really taking the time to rest and recover from what I had experienced. I immediately got back into a vehicle and decided that I was just going to work through this struggle. And it worked for a while. This is the moment I sat down and took a long look at where my life was. For you, this may have been the moment you picked up the phone to call a mentor, a friend, or a professional. Or maybe you too found yourself sitting down with time to rest and reflect. Last year, things started to go left around the same time frame, but this time it wasn't clear until the end of January. In 2025, I made a choice that cost me everything by the end of the year. This year, 2026, the same situation presented itself. The same pressure, same fear, but for the first time, I chose a different tool. Today is day 11, and this is part 2, history versus reality. For the last 10 days, we've been looking at the lost files. Today, I'm going to show you a found file. This next clip is all about the life-changing event that the lost files was birthed from. In 2025, I would have hid this. Matter of fact, I did hide this. I used DIY projects to distract myself. But this year, look at what I did instead. I said no to the voice that wanted me to just keep pushing. I was honest with my loved ones and with you. I used this setback to share my journey before it became catastrophic. Most importantly, I rested. Now, you won't be able to tell by the files that you're seeing right now from the 2026 relapse because things honestly were looking a lot like 2025 up until March 13th. So once we get to March 13th, that's when you'll see the shift and the change. Things are going to slow down, and I'm going to be doing things like going to the park and just really taking it easy, taking care of things at home. You're starting to see some of that now. I took a couple courses, just things that weren't too taxing on my body, but it fueled my mind. After the relapse, I sat down and I really mapped out everything. I saw what happened in 2025 and I looked at what was happening in 2026. This is the moment where everything changed, and I really had to take a hard look at what was transpiring. I could no longer ignore the hardship of 2026, and it really brought everything to a complete stop in my life. I didn't only rest, I was forced to rest. I was forced to sit down, and I was forced to really look at how I was going to transition into this next phase of life, because things had to change. If they didn't change, I don't know how I would make it. It was good until it wasn't. So I did the hardest thing that I would have to do in 2026. I started to share my story. And I needed some help with this because I didn't know how to make it interesting for you all. But got a little help from AI. They said this would work. In DIY, if a screw keeps stripping, you don't use the same screwdriver. You change the bit. My bit for the last year was pride. My bit today is transparency. It's uncomfortable and it feels weaker in the moment, but the connection is actually holding this time. I'm not healed yet. The 2026 hardship is still here. But for the first time in 12 months, I'm not running from it. Tomorrow, on day 12, I'm getting real about what I'm losing this time and why the stakes are so high now that I'm actually paying attention. See you then.